And away we go at Craven Cottage. A place at Wembley is at stake. A place in the semi-finals of the 2008-2009 FA Cup. Patrice Evra crashing into a tackle straight away. Michael Carrick having to fend off the challenge of Bobby Zamora to find Evra again. What about this run of form Manchester United have been enjoying, Ray Houghton? 13 successive wins in all competitions.
It's fantastic, it really is, Guy. Formidable side this season, Manchester United, in the sense that although they're not probably playing as fluent as they were last season, you think that Ronaldo with 42 goals, he hasn't been in the same form this season. But I think it's the defence in the midfield that's really been key this season for them. I think Michael Carrick in the middle of the park has been outstanding, and Vidic and Rio Ferdinand probably the best centre back pair in world football as we speak. But Fulham know that Man United are going for 5 trophies this season, and they've got the best chance today to stop them doing it.
United are going for Fulham right from the start. Wayne Rooney caught by 2 or 3 in white, who crowded around him quickly. Simon Davis is looking for Andrew Johnson. Zamora will find his strike partner. Vidic stands a yard away, can't get the block in this time. Dempsey very nearly got an early look at goal. Promising Fulham movement.
There were 2 centre forwards in action there, Zamora and Johnson. I like them as a pair. I think they work in tandem. You've got Zamora as a big, strong, physical centre forward, and then you've got the pace and the directness of Johnson, who can get in behind the back line of any defence. And on that occasion it was John O'Shea came across and got a really good block in.
Jason Park will be beaten to that by Aaron Hughes, and it will be a goal kick to Fulham. Aaron Hughes, the captain of Northern Ireland. We've mentioned how strong Manchester United are at the centre of defence with Vidic and Ferdinand. Well, Fulham have been pretty good this season in defence too. 7 goalless draws actually in the Premier League this season, and a large part of that is the fact that we've got the captain of Norway, Hangeland, alongside the aforementioned Hughes. And they've been a good pairing, although right on cue, Hangeland has made a mistake. And Tevez is in with a shot. It's pulled away by Schwarzer and turned behind by Cancel. Would you believe it? Big error from Breda Hangeland.
It was massive error. And we can't afford to give the ball away. He's trying to clear it, just put it straight into the path of Rooney's strike partner Tevez with a first-time pass. But what a save from Schwarzer. At full stretch as well, not the greatest of strikes. Hits it into the ground, but Pansel just in ahead of Rooney.
It was the classic commentator's curse. Schwarzer and Fulham now have a corner to keep out. Tevez is being physically moved away from the goal. As Carrick swings it over, it's headed across, I think, by a Fulham player. It is indeed another corner. Luke Dempsey got the touch.
When you look at the Manchester United players coming forward, Ferdinand, Vidic, Carrick, 6 foot plus, Fletcher, O'Shea, there's plenty of height in this Manchester United team if their delivery is good enough.
Vidic has scored 6 goals this season. What a return for a central defender. Ferdinand yet to net. Carrick couldn't get a hold of that properly, and it's Johnson who turns it away and out. Only temporary respite for Fulham though. Andrew Johnson scored 3 times in the FA Cup this season. First 2 rounds, he got a couple at Sheffield Wednesday, and then in Fulham's half-fought 4-2 win away to non-league Kettering. Here's Anderson. He's never scored for Manchester United. This is the 65th time he's played for the club. Came back after injury in last Sunday's Carling Cup final victory. He was a substitute against Spurs. It was a successful penalty taker too. Vidic taking his time before finding Carlos Tevez. Here's Anderson, pursued by Johnson. Too much on that for Jason Park.
There's 2 occasions now that they're trying to get Park in behind Pansel. Obviously it's an area that they've looked at. Maybe they feel that Pansel just gets too far ahead of the ball. It leaves the space in behind, but on both occasions that final ball into Park just hasn't been, the quality-wise, not good enough at the moment.
I've already seen one quality save from Mark Schwarzer. He made a big error at Old Trafford 17 days ago. Ferdinand deals with Andrew Johnson. Schwarzer spilled a Paul Scholes volley into the back of his net for the opening goal of the game in Manchester United's 3-0 win. Has had some success against United in the past during his long spell with Middlesbrough. There's Dixon a 2-0, overrun it. Fletcher picked his pocket. That seems to be a recurring thing with Manchester United so far in the opening 5.5 minutes. Passes being overhit.
Well, the other feature as well so far, guys, how quick they are onto the ball, Manchester United, in comparison to Fulham. You've seen a two whose touch wasn't good enough there. Fletcher was in a flash, lovely piece of skill to take it away from him. And really what he should be doing is just trying to, retain possession of the ball. He's tried a very difficult ball over the top to pick out Wayne Rooney. That ball was never on.
Manchester United's attitude is already evident in the opening minutes of this game. That word hunger keeps dropping up from the manager and all of the players year after year wanting more success. He's Dempsey, attacks it. Looking for Paul Konchesky, who's barged into Darren Fletcher. Fletcher strong enough to recover. And then a misjudgment. He was looking to find Edwin van der Sar. I think he took his eye off the ball for a second and poked it behind. Fulham corner.
I don't know why he just didn't check it out for a goal kick. Dempsey at the last touch. He was about 4 or 5 yards from the touchline. He could just let the ball go in for a goal kick.
Bit of Hangerland. Towering presence. Vidic will be watching him carefully. He's Amora. Just standing behind Van der Sar. Eric's caught sight of him. Let the pushing and shoving commence. It's all rather orderly for once. Headed away by Carrick. Konchesky. Not sure he's able to cut that out. A challenge from Murphy. He's not put himself into the game yet. A chance to. He used to Hangerland, who calls for Schwarzer to come. Zamora. Pushing that down beautifully to Dempsey. Here's Johnson. Vidic will want to keep him wide. Successfully done. Konchesky. That's too much of Dempsey there. John O'Shea had the head start. Well, Dempsey almost wriggled around him there. And has gone back in for more. And he's unlucky. Dispossessed O'Shea. Really good work from the American international.
Well, that's what the fans love to see as well, guys. Players showing the willingness to put the opposition under pressure. They're not giving it up. They're not just retreating back. They're really in the faces of Manchester United, pressurising them. And Dempsey was rather unlucky there. O'Shea took the gamble trying to get out of that position with a piece of skill, which could have cost them.
Johnson. Murphy. And Dempsey managed to hold off Fletcher. Ferdinand gets a bit to it. And the time is turned a little. First 5 minutes, all Manchester United in the Fulham half. Now the other way around. I think we can call Roy a veteran. 61 years old. Won the Swedish Cup a couple of times in his days as Malmo boss. Nobody has won the FA Cup more as a manager than Sir Alex Ferguson. 5 FA Cups. You can have 4 Scottish Cups to that, of course. Phenomenal. Tevez. O'Shea. Gary Neville's on his way back to fitness. Rafael da Silva is out at the moment. That's why O'Shea's looking like he might get it right back.
I'm surprised that Fletcher's playing wide on the right, because I don't think it's a position that he plays that often, and I don't think he's as effective out there. I think he's much more suited to playing in the middle of the park where he can get that freedom to run around. He's got great energy, he can get up and down the pitch, but I wouldn't say he's the most creative or the best cross the ball from wide on the right.
It's Carrick. Ferdinand has to go into reverse to find Vidic. O'Shea. Swept up in Rooney's direction, and Hangerland wasn't confident that Schwarzer was going to get there in time. Rooney. The touch has even spread to England's finest forward.
Well, he's not centred at the moment, has he? Rooney and Tevez. It's not that often they play together. You know, it's normally one or the other plays alongside Berbatov for the important games, but today they've been given the opportunity, and just their lack of concentration allowing the ball to go out for a throw.
So one of those runs again, Wayne Rooney. He's scored in his last 5 appearances. 3-3 since he came back from a hamstring injury. Actually scored with his first touch against Fulham just over 2 weeks ago. That was his first game back, on as a substitute. Still tends to get his goals in bursts, and goes 5 or 6 games without getting one.
I'll tell you, he's a top player. You know, he really is. Well, everyone talks about world-class players around, but certainly when you're looking at one of the top English players around, Rooney would be one of the first names that we mention. He's got everything you want. His attitude, most of the time, is extremely good. There are occasions when he loses his cool, but I think overall he's got everything you want from a footballer. You know, the skill on the ball, and that determination and drive to succeed.
There's Anderson, almost caught by Danny Murphy. To Moshe. I think the determination and the drive goes right throughout this Manchester United squad. There's Patrice Evra. Carlos Tevez. They've had to improvise. Milan has to get it away. And he's looked more uncertain than I've seen him in many a game, the Norwegian defender. He's confused to clear this time. Better than a clearance, he found Zamora perfectly. Only Johnson ahead of him. That's why he's holding on. And he was asking too much of John Patson.
But you're right, Gavin, you said there, you know, he's waiting and waiting and waiting for support, Bobby Zamora. You know, they're the home team, they should be really trying to take the game to Manchester United, but yet you're looking at Davis on the right there, not getting up in advanced position or holding his width, where it's an easy ball for your striker to find a way pass. In the end, he's trying to find Panso coming up from right back, and he just overhit the pass out to him.
Goal scoring has been a Fulham problem. Mentioned their tight defence. Only the top 3 in the Premier League have conceded fewer goals this season, but only Middlesbrough have scored fewer. Anderson. Great ball if O'Shea can get there. Looks as though he should have done. Just bounced up away from him. Anderson's just back from a month out with ankle and foot problems. Another who we tend to forget is only 20 years old.
Well, he's got a fantastic future in the game, there's no doubt. But there are players, when you look at the Manchester United bench, and the likes of Scholes, you know, they're just fabulous. And then that's maybe at times in a tight match where you're looking for that creativity, someone who can make that all-important pass, and certainly, if required, Scholes can go on and do that for United.
Franceschi scored a wonderful FA Cup final goal for West Ham against Liverpool. Almost 3 years ago now. Tevez is possessed by Hengeland. Davis looking for Johnson, and Johnson decided to take it first time. Van der Sar's mistake. Vidic was covering. That would have been the most impudent of goals from Andrew Johnson.
I just think Vidic, you know, he's let it go over his head. He's seen Andrew Johnson get beyond him, and Van der Sar, he feels that Johnson's not going to get to it, and he just got the nearest of touches and took it past the keeper. But what about Vidic? That is fantastic defensive play, helping out the goalkeeper.
Davis blasts it into the United box. He doesn't stay there for long. Tevez. Moved back by Hughes to Franceschi. Well, he spilled one, didn't he, on Wednesday, Van der Sar, allowed Peter Lovenkrantz to put Newcastle United 1-0 up in the league. Another mistake, and all of a sudden they're like buses, Van der Sar errors, after 14 Premier League clean sheets in a row. Much of that run, of course, was down to the likes of Vidic.
Yeah, it's a great ball over the top from Simon Davis, though, wasn't it, to pick out Andrew Johnson. He did get a lovely touch on it. You can see Van der Sar doesn't feel that the striker's going to get there. He's rather happy that Vidic got back to make the clearance.
You know the mind of a player, right? Was that would that have been pure fluke, or was Johnson looking for that?
I just think he just, stuck a leg out there trying to bring the ball down. I think he tried to control it initially, but, then he got his little bit of luck getting it beyond the goalkeeper, but then he's seen Vidic getting back and clearing it off the line.
Here's Evra. Intercepted by Danny Murphy. Just a smattering of boos for the Manchester United fans, which Murphy won't mind. It shows they remember him. Remember what he used to do to them in Liverpool's colours.
But I think he's crucial for Fulham today, Danny Murphy. If Fulham are going to do anything, they're going to have to get on the ball and pass the ball through midfield, and that's where Danny Murphy will come into his own. I think he's going to be the linchpin in there. We know he's going to be the legs. He'll drive up and down the pitch, and he's got plenty of energy, but I don't think getting on the ball and being creative is part of his game. That's certainly down to Murphy.
Did say yesterday, Danny Murphy, that he feels this will be his last chance of getting to an FA Cup final at Wembley. 31 years old, he might have attack left yet perhaps. Zamora's cross, in comes Dempsey, and it's well held by Van der Sar. What a terrific line by Clint Dempsey.
He does that well, doesn't he, guy? A lovely ball in from the far side there from Bobby Zamora, and then just out-jumped John O'Shea at the far post. The only good thing from Van der Sar's point of view, virtually straight at him. There's a good length to coming for left, but that's where he's at his best, Dempsey. He does extremely well. Good link-up play between the two strikers. Zamora does well out on this right-hand side, coming inside Vidic, and then just floats to the far post. You can see it's a good climb from Dempsey over O'Shea, but straight at Van der Sar.
5 goals this season, Clint Dempsey. Van der Sar. After a little wobble, back to making saves again. He has spent 4 seasons here at Craven Cottage as a Fulham player. Might just have angered some of those who used to cheer him around these parts with his comments this week that had he not made the move to Manchester United and he'd still been at Fulham, he would have retired by now. Manchester United reignited his spark and hunger for the game. That said, Roy Hodgson has done that for plenty around Fulham. Virtually changed the team in its entirety from the Laurie Sanchez days at the beginning of last season.
And it shows as well, doesn't it? You can see the determination from the players. They work hard as a group. There's no individual player out there. There's no star name. They just work hard as a team.
Murphy was doing the graft there. And Andrew Johnson. I think Murphy was trying to take it back away from him. Johnson keeps on going to find Zamora. Zamora's gone for goal, ambitious. And Vidic in his way.
That strike was never really on for Zamora. I just felt here Andrew Johnson running into his space anyway. Just look at the run that he moved, which just brought so many Manchester United players over. I think if he'd have held his position, then he would have found Zamora one-on-one with Vidic, and he might have got a better chance to get a better strike at goal.
Well, there were plenty who've looked at the FA Cup ties around this weekend and said, can't see any shocks, but it's been an entertaining first 18 minutes at Craven Cottage, and things like this, Carrick caught in possession. Van der Sar looking a bit wobbly, John O'Shea not too sure. We've got a cup tie on here. Yeah,
I think that Manchester United started the better of the first 5 minutes or so, but certainly now, Fulham have got themselves back into the match. They look like a team that's trying to drive the game forward, look to get in behind the back line of Manchester United. Interesting to see Zamora trying to get onto Vidic as much as possible. Maybe he feels he's got the pace to get beyond him. So at the moment, I would say that just Fulham edging it.
If you join the action late, just a reminder, no Cristiano Ronaldo in the Manchester United lineup for this. He didn't make the journey down to London. And Berbatov a substitute. That's Rooney playing the ball across to Fletcher. And Chesney has to be sure to put that behind.
What a ball. Oh, ball this is from Rooney. Just flips it to the far post, trying to pick out Darren Fletcher. Which is for awareness and vision. Puts it into a lovely area, and that's really good defending from Chesney. Could take the chance.
Up comes Rio Ferdinand, wearing the captain's armband for Manchester United. He's never scored in the FA Cup. It's over a year since he did last score. That was Rooney, and it's diverted in. Carlos Tevez back in the team, and back to score for Manchester United. Fulham fans respond immediately. All the hard work undone. Wayne Rooney wins it.
You can't believe it. The two smallest players in Man United's team scored the goal from a corner. Rooney wins the first header, and at the far post, Tevez gets beyond Paul Konchesky, who's on the line. That's just amazing. And Fulham will be absolutely distraught with the defending there. You can't allow the two smallest players in United's team to, win headers like that and ultimately get the goal.
Well, Konchesky it was, whose excellent defending led to the Manchester United corner, but he just didn't read that quite as well as Carlos Tevez, who perfectly judged his jump and nods in for his 11th goal of the season. Fulham 0, Manchester United 1. What will that do to Fulham? It's great to hear the response from the home supporters. Don't let that worry them. Not many teams come back from a goal down against Manchester United, who are doing their best for Fulham, it would seem. Vidic and Van der Sar, the two most rock-solid players for Manchester United all season.
Well, they'll tell you there that everything was okay, but it's just a lack of communication. You could see that Vidic was telling Van der Sar to drop off to give him room to head the ball back to him, but Van der Sar continued his run forward, and that could have been unpleasant for him, because certainly there was, I think it was Johnson that was in the frame there, but just waiting for the mistake to capitalise on it.
He's Prancer. Murphy. Paul Konchesky. You see glum Fulham faces in the crowd behind him. Fletcher. O'Shea. And out by Simon Davis. He had a trial with Manchester United almost 10 years ago now, whilst he was still a Peterborough player. He's arrived at Fulham via Spurs and Everton. Murphy. Ferdinand decided not to try to cut it out. Dempsey. I think it was his foul rather than the other way round. Play on waved by referee Mike Dean. Murphy loses out. Jason Park badgering him. Rooney's gone for goal. Great effort. That was dipping, and Schwarzer just at the last second thought that he might have misjudged that one.
Brilliant skill from Rooney, wasn't it? His vision, look at, just inside the Fulham half, he had a quick look up to see where the goalkeeper Schwarzer was, and that is just a foot or so from, well, maybe a little bit more than that, a yard or so away from giving United the second goal. But great play once again from Wayne Rooney.
Saw Schwarzer suddenly hurry himself up. He was watching it over and then had to do a couple of quick steps. Hansen. One for United by Evra, whose route to goal was blocked by Aaron Hughes, and he's pulled it well wide. Carlos Tevez in the team instead of Dimitar Berbatov today. Doesn't seem to matter which one you pick, they'll score.
It's been a very good first half to the first half, hasn't it? It's been an intriguing game. Both teams surprisingly have gone right at it. I thought it would have been a little bit more cagey than that. Maybe just Fulham sitting back and wondering what tactics Manchester United were going to employ. Maybe try and hit United on the counter-attack, but they've gone for it as well. We've seen, both keepers under pressure, having to scurry back on occasions, but United, against the run of play, I've got to say at that stage, got the all-important first goal.
How much of a factor, Ray, is it that they're 7 points clear in the Premier League? It's almost as though we were expecting changes that never really happened. Only 2 today. Sir Alex might start resting players for league games instead of cup ties. Such is his desire in this competition.
I think he wants to win every competition this season. He probably realises he's not going to have a better chance to win 5 trophies in one season. And this is their opportunity. Their confidence is sky high. They're playing football, winning football, not expansive football all the time, but certainly whoever they play against, you can see that they've got the belief that they can beat them.
It's Anderson. It will be easy for Schwarzer. Say 5 trophies, so we're counting the Club World Cup, are we?
Well, apart from Manchester United are, so we'll have to.
Could be 6, could put the Community Shield into the mix. Big Portsmouth on the penalties before the season had really started in England. And of course, that penalties win against Spurs last weekend. So just the Premier League, which would seem to be in the bag, the FA Cup and the Champions League to come. There aren't many who bet against it. And they're 1-0 up, and heading towards a Wembley semi-final at Craven Cottage thanks to Carlos Tevez poaching.
That's what you want at the far post. He's not going to win too many headers, but you can see the joy from his manager, Sir Alex Ferguson. That's a great start for them. Big week for Manchester United, you know, not only today's match against Fulham in the FA Cup, into Milan midweek, and then the big one in the league against Liverpool next weekend.
Here's Everett. Tevez, just a little look over his shoulder to see that Carrick was running strongly past him. Rooney. Declared by Hughes. Rooney had stayed wide. Coolly clips it across to O'Shea. Anderson. Through for Rooney, flags up. That's a big. Well taken, but never going to kill. Glenn Turner, the man with the flag.
Must be a worry though, this for me. It really would. Is he off? I mean, that's so tight, isn't it?
Well, Patsel's playing him off.
Well, it looked like he was, didn't he? And the assistant, it's very difficult for the assistant though, because, you know, by the time he sees the pass and he gets his head up, he sees the red shirt ahead of Pansel, which is Wayne Rooney. Then he finished it well though. I mean, supreme confidence when he went beyond Schwarzer there just to calmly slot it into the back net. But that would worry me, that the likes of Manchester United players are going to make them runs in behind, and there's no Fulham player going with them.
Perfectly weighted ball from Anderson, as is that one to Rooney as well. Perfectly timed run, it looked to us, from Wayne Rooney, who just held his position on the left wing, and then Fulham defenders switched off and let him go. Anderson. Rooney. Those two are playing their own little game at the moment. Up goes Ferdinand to win it. Now Fletcher. Manchester United are cranking up the gears and putting Fulham under the cosh here. It's lovely football. At pace, so precise. O'Shea and Ferdinand joining in with the attacks. Anderson. Now Carrick. And Jason Park. Everett. Davis got an important touch. Anderson. Forward come Manchester United once more. It's Tevez and Rooney. Just nipped in between Hughes and Schwarzer.
Tell you what, the keeper's done great here. What a lovely little pass here from Tevez, picking out Rooney. He's in. Look how close Schwarzer got to him. So he couldn't really nudge it past him and then get the second touch to put it into the net. This is all down to the keeper. A little pull on his arm as well from Aaron Hughes. Very unfortunate from Manchester United's point of view. But once again, Tevez and Rooney linking up extremely well.
Johnson. Dixon or two who the ball was just a little behind him. So able to get forward. Johnson was demanding it. Vidic easily stepped in front of him to win it. Patzel has another go, this time to find Zamora. Down for Davies. I think he wanted to poke that through to Johnson. Opportunity never knocked. Cleared by Van der Sar. Patzel wants to keep the ball moving. That's not a bad ball in. Zamora, Davies. He was put off balance by Vidic in front of him.
Good response from Fulham. Decent ball in from Pansel. He's done that well, hasn't he? Zamora, you know, just held off Ferdinand, chested the ball down for Davies. And you're quite right, I think just the influence of Vidic there, just in front of Simon Davies, he took the strike almost enough to put him off.
Scored one goal this season. He's played every game in the Premier League. Goal came in a win against his old club Spurs back in November. Dean calls for quiet. I think too much for the referee to concern himself with so far, though. Vidic. Ferdinand. And Rooney. Tevez just drifting behind Aaron Hughes. Rooney spotted another option. Darren Fletcher getting forward. Tevez a little off balance, moving the wrong way for that pass. Fulham couldn't keep it for very long though. Rio Ferdinand. Carlos Tevez. Past Hangeland. Ji-sung Park. Across for Rooney. Off the post. Well, he's been brilliant. That's his first mistake of the match. And what a big one. Should have been 2-0.
What a miss is this? I can't believe Wayne Rooney's miss from 4 yards out. He's got the whole goal to aim at. Great build-up play from United. Lovely ball in from Park. And all Wayne Rooney's waiting for us to see the ball hit the back of the net. He's hit the post.
And will Fulham respond to that? Maybe just get the feeling that there will be a bit of luck on their side. They're being overrun in spells in this game. Rooney's let them off the hook there. At 2-0 down, really no way back. Here's the Fulham rally. Zamora has not got close to Johnson with that one though. Van der Sar gets it away. Danny Murphy. And there's a two-hoop. Dempsey. Murphy. Chesky took his eye off it.
You can see the difference in the passing from both sides. Can you Manchester United, the crisper, it's sharper. You know, it's played at pace, whereas we see with Fulham, it just looks a little bit ponderous at the moment. You know, up until the first goal, they were well in it. They looked like they were just shading it. But since that goal, United are going on to a different level altogether, and they look like they could go on and win this game quite comfortably. Fulham really have to dig in between now and half-time, make sure they don't concede another goal.
Here's Rooney. That miss won't be on his mind for long. He'll just be waiting for the next opportunity. His passing's been brilliant. Murphy. To the top. Zamora giving chase. Cut out by Vidic. When Vidic and Evra signed for Manchester United, and plenty of expert was saying, not sure about these two. They've both been absolutely brilliant.
Particularly Vidic in the last 18 months or so. Evra, I thought, did it from day one. You know, just loved his attitude. He always looked to get forward. You know, he's very, very good on the ball. He doesn't panic. You know, he just gives it nice and simply, and then he's got that genuine pace to get beyond players. But Vidic, for me, this season has probably been as good a central defender as I've seen anyone.
Juggling from Bobby Zamora. Mentioned that Konchesky scored a wonderful goal for West Ham against Liverpool in the final 3 years ago. Bobby Zamora played in that game as well. One of the classic FA Cup finals. 3-3, Liverpool prevailing in the end. Tevez. Here's Anderson. Tevez couldn't work it to Rooney. Carrick, he's gone for it. Too close to Schwarzer, but struck well enough.
That shows the confidence of Michael Carrick and probably the season that he's having. And he's been extremely good for United. And that's fully 35-40 yards out. Took the strike on. Quite a movement on the ball as well, so Schwarzer had to keep his eye on it.
Simon Davis. Robbed all too easily. Both Davies and Dempsey nominally wide right and wide left, but they don't stay on the touchlines, do they?
They can't at the moment because they've been overrun in the midfield, so they're coming in nice and narrow, trying to help out the two central midfield players, the two and Murphy, because they can't get on the ball. Look, they're getting it and then they're giving it straight back to Manchester United, and that's a recipe for disaster because they break at such pace, United.
It's Tevez leading the charge here. Oh, that's wonderful! Carlos Tevez at the double for Manchester United. That is a tremendous strike.
Well, that all came about from Fulham giving the ball away in their own attacking area there, and then all of a sudden 2 passes. United are away. What about this for a goal? Oh, you could have a couple of goalkeepers in there. Would have marked, they would have saved it. Because this is absolute class from Carlos Tevez. Look at the movement on the ball, took it away from Schwarzer. I mean, the keeper looks like he's set, thinks he's in the right position, but such is the pace and direction of the strike from Carlos Tevez. and no more than United deserve.
Just cut across the ball with his right boot, curled away from Schwarzer. Fulham 0, Manchester United 2. This cup tie is going away from Fulham. And they haven't played that badly. Manchester United have been quite fantastic. Carlos Tevez coming into the team. Has to be the most patient player in the English Premier League all season. He's been on the bench more often than not. Berbatov and Rooney has been Sir Alex Ferguson's preferred choice when both fit. Tevez has been the cup player. Did it in the Carling Cup. Remember those 4 goals he scored in one game against Blackburn? Wouldn't bet against him doing that today. It's Johnson playing it harmlessly and aimlessly through. And Roy Hodgson, at 1-0 down, he still had a bit of spark in him. It's looking a bit flat right now.
Well, I think he's also concerned with the fact that they can't get hold of the ball. They keep giving it away, and there was a perfect occasion where the link-up between Zamora and Johnson wasn't quite there, whereas the link-up between Rooney and Tevez has been excellent in the first 36 minutes of this game. What a finish that is.
Isn't it telling? There's a handful of Fulham supporters behind that goal. All they can do is sit and applaud. And his 11th and 12th goals of the season. Fulham 0, Manchester United 2 on their way to a record 26th FA Cup semi-final appearance. Arsenal can equal that. They haven't played their 5th round tie against Burnley yet. Chant from the Manchester United fans is Argentina. Their current coach, the great Diego Maradona, he's at a loss as to why Carlos Tevez doesn't start every game for Manchester United, saying that he would surely get into any other team in the world. I think he's probably right.
Well, he is right, but you've got Rooney and you've got Berbatov, so one thing Manchester United have got above every other team in English football is match winners. You know, players that can make a difference, that can change a game. And we've just seen with Carlos Tevez on 2 occasions here, you know, why he'll be knocking on the manager's door game after game, looking to get into this side. Fabulous finish.
Is that the mark of more or less the perfect forward? The fact that one of his goals is a little scruffy poach as happened, and the other one is strike like that from 25 yards.
I didn't tell you it was a fabulous header at the far post. Right position, you know, at the right time. So it's just marvellous. I mean, Manchester United overall, you know, if you're looking, analysing this game, Guy, in the first 38 minutes, they gave a masterclass in passing and movement, making angles to receive the ball, and then just breaking at real pace. And the fact is that Fulham, as well as they've done, and they've done reasonably well, they just can't live with them at the moment.
Dempsey dispossessed. Did really well to win it back so quickly. He was just losing his footing. Was just about fine for Chesty anyway. Tuhu. Back heel from Zamora. Johnson's in, and Ferdinand recovers. Fulham aren't done yet. Davis gets the corner. Could have been a lot more for Fulham. Every Manchester United mistake looks as though it's going to lead to a Fulham goal tonight, but they recover so quickly.
Great block with it from Ferdinand after his initial mistake.
Davis with the delivery. There's Rooney back in his own box to thump the ball away. Davis. It's a great cross. Vidic was in the right position to guide it clear this time. Tuhu. Manchester United are just having a break. Zamora. Johnson. Fulham appeals, but mainly from the crowd. Mike Dean didn't see anything wrong. Presumably asking for a push in there. Manchester United simply push on to the other end. They've just gone down a couple of gears here. Relaxing before the half-time break. Rooney. Rio Ferdinand. It's Vidic. Tevez. Led by Panzer. Not panicky effort though. Tevez gets it and finds Rooney. That's quite brilliant. Blocked by Hughes. Johnson. Davis. Murphy. Tuhu. Easiest option is out to Konchesky. Here's Zamora. The Bucks stay down here. Van der Sar goes down strongly at the feet of Bobby Zamora. Manchester United very nearly opened up again. They've been brilliant going forward from the start. Just a few question marks for a change about the defensive side to the game.
I think they'll try to play offside there, guy. I think that was the difference. You know, you just see Rio Ferdinand looking at Zamora. He's got his hand up looking for that offside decision. It didn't come. This was the pulling and shoving in the penalty area, and it certainly looks like John O'Shea had the shirt of Bobby Zamora there. And I think if the referee had a clearer view of that, he might have gave Fulham a penalty.
Rio Ferdinand has a problem. Manchester United do have Johnny Evans amongst their substitutes for this. Rooney's come over for a drink and a word with the boss. Looks as though he's still thinking about that miss, because it could so easily have been 3-0.
It could have been, it could be 3 or 4. I just hope we see the replay of that piece of skill from Wayne Rooney, where he put it through the legs of Hangeland and then had the strike, which then was deflected away, because that was masterful. Never mind players that do the 25 step overs and don't go anywhere. When you're that good and you can produce a piece of magic like that, that's what the youngsters out there should be watching DVDs of. You know, when you're getting on the ball, you make something happen with your touch. Absolutely first class from Wayne Rooney.
Evans just going to take it easy until half time. There is Johnny Evans. He's been mentioned by some as being in the running for Young Player of the Year this season.
He's had a fabulous season, he really has, and he won't let United down. He's played a lot of games though, and he played through the injuries as well. Just wonder with Rio Ferdinand, whether being 2-0 up, whether at half time Sir Alex will bring him off, bearing in mind they have got these 2 big games coming up.
As Ray mentioned earlier, it's Inter Milan at home on Wednesday for Manchester United, 0-0 after the first leg of their Champions League last 16 time. And then Liverpool at home next weekend. Win that, and it really is all over in the Premier League, certainly as far as Liverpool are concerned. Anderson. This is all about the FA Cup and Manchester United's march towards Wembley. First for the semi-final, maybe even for the final as well. And their assault on winning 5 trophies, 6 if you include the Community Shield at the start of the season, in one campaign. Never been done before. Tevez. Anderson. Here's Everett. Everett has got past Simon Davis, so he'll have to do it again. There's the cross. Need behind for a corner.
That's really great to watch. When United play at this tempo and with this accuracy of pass and 1 and 2 touch, Fulham can't get anywhere near them at the moment. And also it's very difficult for the 2 central defenders. Rooney and Tevez never play up alongside them. They're always coming deep. So as a defender, you can't go in tight on them, because you know you're going to leave the space in behind.
Alternative corner taken. Short to Park. Now played into Anderson, who's miskicked. Zamora. Tuhu. Murphy. He's been closed down by Tevez. Oh, the difference. As Anderson hooks the ball calmly over the head and finds Tevez. Unbelievable difference in the passing abilities and the movement of the 2 sides. United seem to be playing a different game right now. Anderson. Jason Park and Rooney hanging back again. O'Shea. There's Carrick. Played through to John O'Shea. And Schwarzer had to make the block. Not sure if that was creeping in at the near post, but the right back now gets in on the act.
Must be about 20 passes involved in that chance for John O'Shea. Great build-up play once again. Wayne and Rooney and Carrick heavily involved. And Carrick's slide rule pass through. I tell you what, that's a great save from Schwarzer. It looked like his body's weight was going to the right, just stuck out his left hand. It's a bit too diverted behind for a corner, but Manchester United are like the Harlem Globetrotters at the moment, aren't they? They're just wonderful football to watch.
This is relentless. Rooney tries to hook the corner across. Angerland into first half injury time. There'll be at least 2 more minutes for Manchester United to enjoy and Fulham to endure. I suspect they can't get into the dressing room quickly enough. I'm trying to think what Roy Hodgson would say. You've played okay.
Hell, pray for a flood-like failure or something, because it doesn't look like they're going to get back in. But as far as Sir Alex is concerned, he doesn't want the half-time whistle. He'd rather go right through the 90 minutes playing at this pace and tempo, whereas Roy Hodgson, he can't wait for the half-time whistle just to try and reorganise his team and maybe get a bit of confidence back into their play, because at the moment they're getting a runaround from United.
For a back to Van der Sar. 3 times a cup winner in his native Holland. Love the FA Cup to add to that collection, along with all the other medals he's going to get this season. 38 at the end of October he was. He's already signed for another season, and saw him quoted this week as saying that he's enjoying it, so no reason to even think about packing in yet. With the throw. Suhu. It's Kunchinski. Zamora. Little touch under Johnson. Couldn't wriggle his way past Patrice Evra. Fulham will have to get their skates on if they are to get one more chance before the break. And there is the... I know it's a foul throw. I thought it was a half-time whistle, but the throw did look a little suspect.
Can't believe a professional footballer can't throw the ball, and it's just embarrassing, it really is.
Simon Davis, we'll name him and shame him. He was just holding on too long, wasn't it? Fulham needed to take it quickly. Roy Hodgson is always honest in his appraisal of what he's just seen, and if the next 45 minutes are anything like what we've just seen, he'll be fulsome in his praise of Manchester United at the end. There is still a little bit of hope for Fulham, but Manchester United have to regress in the second half if Fulham are to have a chance of getting into the semi-finals. Wayne Rooney missed the sitter. Carlos Tevez has scored 2. One a header, one a perler from 25 yards. And Manchester United are in total control of this FA Cup quarter-final at Craven Cottage. At the break, it's Fulham 0, Manchester United 2. Party time for the Manchester United supporters. It is with just about every game that they see at the moment. So Manchester United are ready to power their way through to a semi-final appearance in the FA Cup. It would be a record 26th time that they've made it that far. Nobody's won the FA Cup more than Manchester United. 11 times they've lifted the trophy. The last time, 2004, when they beat Millwall in the final. And of course, they are still maintaining their assault on winning 5 trophies in one season. Club World Cup, League Cup in the bag, Premier League seemingly just about sewn up. Just FA Cup and Champions League to collect them. It's Michael Carrick swinging it out to Ji-sung Park. Wayne Rooney hanging back on the edge of the box, and Park very nearly found him, and then very nearly got the ball again. Carrick. Vidic. We've said the praises of just about every player out there for Manchester United in the first half. Ji-sung Park never gets as much of the credit as the rest of the team, but he's a worker.
He is, absolutely. He's just not an eye catcher. He doesn't do something out of the ordinary, which a lot of the other players can do. That's the difference.
And Fulham do something out of the ordinary here. Bobby Zamora on the ball. Little Paul Konchesky. Danny Murphy looking for Konchesky again. John O'Shea looked favourite and did get there first. Should be a corner, shouldn't it? That's where Fulham fans were pointing, and after a bit of a debate, so does the referee.
But that's what's required from Fulham's perspective, getting men forward. Occasionally to the left full-back from Chesky. To get forward a couple of things in that first half. He's going to have to do it a lot more in this second. Take advantage of set play situations.
Simon Davis to take. Away by Darren Fletcher at his near post. And Chesky. Touched on, but with any great belief by Hangeland. Carrick. Here is Jason Park. Scored in Manchester United's 3-0 win at Craven Cottage last March in the Premier League. Just one goal this season for the South Korean, that was at Chelsea in September. Vidic. Anderson. It's put out by Murphy. Johnson. Cancer, pursued by Park. Dempsey is dispossessed by Vidic, and Evra can skip the ball. Rooney, beautiful touch to Tevez. I think he was trying to find Evra. Hughes got back on Sterling defensive duty to Fulham. Murphy. Evra's boot got a touch of the ball. It's Fulham's throw. Once again, we can only admire the spirited response of Roy Hodgson's team.
Absolutely, we wouldn't step into this from Fulham particularly hot. They're going to give this a real go in the second half. The question is, have they got the quality, the creativity, the belief that they can get themselves back into this game? Next goal's vital. We know that. Fulham get it 2-1 down, you know, they're in with a chance of maybe getting a draw. United get it, I feel it will be game over.
Renzel. Darlene has it again. Just to shoo the ball away from Johnny Evans. Now Zamora takes over. Just too high. Dempsey was coming in, Johnson was in there. Beat everybody.
That's a great ball in from Bobby Zamora. Dempsey's the one who looks like he's trying to get on the end of it. Really good defending from John O'Shea. But in truth, it's Zamora you want in there. You want Zamora in there heading it. You don't really want him crossing the ball from that position. That's down to Simon Davis or John Pansel, the two right-sided players for Fulham.
We've seen it twice from Zamora, and arguably Fulham's best two balls in of the night. Tevez looking for his hat-trick. Rooney trying to tee him up for it. Fulham have made a mess of getting it away. It's Rooney again. Goes for the corner. Finds the corner. Manchester United are heading to the semi-finals. No doubt about it now. It's Wayne Rooney with the goal he's deserved. It's just about all over.
Well, just passed this into the net. Doesn't it, Wayne Rooney? This is a fabulous finish. Initially wins the header, then they really should do better there. What is Hangeland doing here? He tries to play himself out of danger. The two-his touch wasn't good enough. It falls to the feet of Wayne Rooney. What about this for a finish? 2-3 touches, he just gets it out his feet, and then that right foot curl into the far corner. Mark Swatzer is doing his level best to keep the ball out. He's scampered across his goal. Such is the class of the finish from Wayne Rooney, the precision of the strike. Wonderful goal.
It is a wonderful goal. It's the 16th that he's scored this season, and he's now scored in his last 6 Manchester United appearances. Remember that run earlier in the season when he scored 9 goals in 7 games for club and country? Well, he's on an even better run, it would seem now. No sign of it stopping anytime soon. And as you called it in the first half, Ray, you said once Manchester United were home and dry, they'd give people a chance. It's going to be 19-year-old Richard Eckersley to come on in a moment or two.
I'm sure he's thoroughly going to enjoy the day. You know, it's much easier when you come on in a game when your team's playing well and you're winning it convincingly, like Manchester United are at the moment. And I've got to say, well done to Sir Alex. You know, he's put up a really strong side to start with. He's got his 3-goal lead, and now he can bring 1 or 2 players off and rest them for the 2 big games they've got coming up this week.
Richard Eckersley is a right back. You can expect that John O'Shea would be the player to be replaced. Never an extreme at right backs at Manchester United. You've got, of course, Gary Neville. Rafael da Silva has emerged. Danny Simpson's out on loan at Blackburn. John O'Shea fills in wherever he's asked to. And now Richard Eckersley is coming to the fore.
Not a good time to be a right back at United. I don't think you're going to get much game time.
You can't see Danny Simpson coming back anytime soon. He's not a bad player. On comes Richard Eckersley be 20 next Thursday. And this is his third run out in the Manchester United first team. A puff out of the cheeks as he came on. There will be one or two nerves in there, but he's come up through the academy. He's well schooled in all that's right in football. Here's Park. Now Anderson. In came Johnson. Forced Anderson to give the ball away. Might have been churlish as we look at John O'Shea walk away to say that should Schwarzer perhaps have done better with that Rooney shot? Will he get full stretch?
I think he would. I just think it was the precision of the strike from Rooney. I thought it was just first class. I think you'd have to question the determination of players closing down and equally handling what he was trying to do, passing the ball out from that position, because Dixon the two didn't really expect the ball to him, and then his touch wasn't good enough, and which led to the chance for Wayne Rooney. But I thought he dispatched it really, really well. What Fulham have to do now is think, don't get caught up in any nonsense now trying to go into challenges and get yellow and red cards, because they could be massive with the games that they've coming up, because they're still not out in that relegation bracket at the moment.
It's Michael Carrick. No suggestion that Manchester United are going to sit back on this. They're going for as many as they can get. When you think that goal difference isn't a factor in the FA Cup, it just tells you all about Manchester United. Absolutely ruthless.
They are, absolutely. And I think this is United's best performance in a long time. Going away from home is always difficult, but they've commanded it really from the first whistle. A good start. Fulham for 15 minutes looked decent, but since that first goal went in, it's just been a masterclass from United. Passing, movement. Everyone out there's taking responsibility to get on the ball.
Here's Carrick. Rooney got in the way of the shot. He nearly benefited himself from doing so. Here's Konchesky, had to hurry. Fletcher was in his face. Anderson. Schwarzer started to come and thought better of it. Hughes will have to attack it again. It's Jason Park who jumps with it. Danny Murphy's just not been in it, has he? Johnny Evans has all the time in the world to let that one run through Edwin van der Sar. I've read all the reports, and the general consensus is that this Manchester United team, even Sir Alex says himself, is better than the one that won the treble of Champions League, FA Cup and League in 1999, 10 years ago. I think back to that team of Beckham and Scholes and Roy Keane, and I've doubted that, but I'm coming round to it.
Well, I think when you look at the forward line that they had there, York and Cole, and then you're Sheringham and Solskjaer, I think they would compete with the lads they've got today, that's for sure, for quality, goal scoring prowess, but it's just how quick they are. When you watch United close down, it's that appetite for the game. They want to go out every match, and as you just pointed out, the 3-0 up, they're not sitting back taking it easy. They're going forward again. They want to score more and more goals. They want to put the opposition to one side and win the game comfortably, and I think that's a great trait to have as a club.
Picked away by Everett. Just got a glimpse of Olivier Dacour, who may be about to come on for Fulham. Might just hold on to that whilst they check whether Andrew Johnson's okay. But caught in an Eckersley Vidic sandwich. When the man Vidic hits you, he hits you hard.
Absolutely. They might just be cautious with Andrew Johnson, and the big games coming up. Looks like they're not going to get anything out of this game. Still 35 minutes or so left in the match, but United are completely dominated at the moment. And big decisions for a manager, whether you say, well, look, there's bigger games ahead for us. The league's our priority, and I have to make sure that we're there for next season. So he might make one or two changes to key players and rest them.
Well, we said about Wednesday, Manchester United against Inter Milan. Fulham at home to Blackburn on Wednesday in the Premier League. That is a huge contest for both teams. Blackburn in the thick of it in the bottom three, and Fulham only 7 points above the bottom three. 11 or 12 games to go, so plenty of work for them to do. If they do get an absolute thumping here today, I don't think their confidence any good. That said, Roy Hodgson is wily enough to express his place that this really is a one-off. Johnny Evans just caught a knock. Ferdinand's already gone off. Now Danny Murphy is going on. He's had great success against Manchester United in the past. You can hear the boos from United supporters. That's because of the damage he did to them as a Liverpool player. And off he goes. Couldn't do anything tonight. Hardly got a touch of the ball all night. And on comes the man on loan from Inter Milan, Olivier Dacour. If there'll be a phone call to Jose Mourinho to tell him what he's found out after tonight. I think Jose will know.
Well, if he gets a tape of this, I think he'll be a little bit fearful of what United might do on Wednesday evening.
What, him? Fearful?
Yeah, well, listen, I was fortunate enough to be at the first leg, and he should be, because Manchester United dominated that game, and the only thing that they didn't do that day was score a goal. Unlike today, where they've got 3, and they look so positive, so confident, regardless who they're going to play at the moment. You just feel United are going to win.
Just got a long look there at Breda Hangeland. Not claimed to have seen every Fulham game this season, but he's been getting rave reviews. This surely must be his worst performance of the campaign, just when he needed to be at his very best as well. Just didn't look comfortable from the off, did he? He made that mistake, giving the first chance of the night to Manchester United.
He's actually get 2 chances away, hasn't he? You know, one that didn't cost and the other one that did. You know, so this has been a massive test. You know, it's all right doing it against maybe some of the weaker sides in the division, but when you come up against the top sides, that's when you're really tested as a defender.
There's Anderson. Now Tevez. This is out Fletcher. Rooney then looked for him. Caught. There we have it. When Manchester United get the ball in the midfield, every pass is measured and played briskly. And just to the right place and the right player. Fulham not so. Fabio Capello. Not much conversation going on between the England coach and the Fulham chairman, Mohamed Al Fayed. Must be thinking about picking Michael Carrick sometime soon. Who he's got left to look at on the field. This is just Michael Carrick in the United side, isn't it? He's just thinking of a shot call for Richard Eckersley. Jason Park tries to join in the goal scoring fight.
Confidence throughout the whole United side. We've seen Rooney shooting just inside the Fulham half in the first half, and Michael Carrick giving strikes from 40 yards, testing Schwartz in that case, and Jason Park going to get in the act from 25-30 yards.
Nancy Cameron. His 4th substitute appearance of the season. That's all. He was out at the end of February with a cruciate ligament injury he sustained while playing for Senegal last summer. Andrew Johnson, well, first 10-15 minutes you thought he might get a goal tonight. Not to be. And he's doing the chasing and the harrying for the bulk of the game.
Well, I think that's an astute change from Roy Hodgson. I think he realises that it's not Andrew Johnson's night tonight. He's going to give Kamara a chance, get some fitness work out there, and at the same time rest Andrew Johnson for that game against Blackburn.
Third Fulham striker to take the field tonight, who has never scored in his career against Manchester United, who are doing their best to give Fulham a chance to score it. Vidic and Van der Sar looking as shaky as they have been all season. Corner gifted to their own team. Van der Sar organising. Johnny Evans who headed away. Here's the call. Evans is on hand to clear. Core again, chased by Park. Tackled by Everett. Off he goes. Carrick. Anderson. Sometimes wonder with Fabio Capello watching. Must be just thankful that England never have to face Manchester United.
Maybe he's looking at Rooney, see if he can do it.
Oh, I think he knows. Certainly won't want Rooney to stay fit. He might be praying that Sir Alex Ferguson takes him off with World Cup qualifiers coming up at the end of the month against Slovakia and Ukraine. Here is Rooney. Strong enough to hold off Dempsey. Oh, and then little bit of the other side of Wayne Rooney as he goes tumbling in with Dempsey and looks at the American rather disdainfully, as does referee Mike Dean, I should say.
Why does he get involved on Wayne Rooney? There's no need. I think there was a foul on him by Dempsey, but then he reacts to it rather than just getting on with the game and showing his skill and everything that he's done so far, which has been so wonderful.
Here's Jason Park with a smart turn and shots, and Schwarzer saves. But for him, Fulham could have been 5 or 6 down. Hatzel gets the ball clear. At least that's the intention. Hughes. Park looks as though he's determined to be the next Manchester United scorer tonight.
And he deserves it as well, the way he's played today. You know, you asked earlier on, why is he one of the unsung heroes of the side? It's because he doesn't show it all the time, but that was a fantastic opportunity, great strike, and it was a very, very good save from the goalkeeper.
It's Hughes getting word from the touchline that Fabio Capello's about to get his wish and Wayne Rooney is going to be substituted. And again, that will be with an eye to Inter and Liverpool.
Here's the strike, gets out of his feet, really good save from Schwarzer. He's a big lad, he has to get down quickly, you know, and Peter's working that in training all the time, reacting, get down to your right and your left hand side to make the saves, and that was a very good save from Schwarzer.
Hughes. Looks as though he controlled that with his arm. Free kick for Manchester United and a Manchester United change. And here it is, Rooney off. We've seen all sides to him. We've seen a bad miss in front of goal. We've seen brilliant play all over the pitch. We've seen him score. We've also seen that little flare-up with Clint Dempsey. You have to take it all as one package.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just wonder if that's the main reason why he's came off. You know, maybe Sir Alex has just seen that the red mist came down on that occasion. He's a little bit worried that he might get involved again, which could lead to a red card, and no, it's not what he wants. He knows he's back, he knows he's banging form, scoring goals, and once again I thought he was excellent today. First class performance from Wayne Rooney.
18-year-old Danny Welbeck who's come on. 2 FA Cup goals this season in the 3rd round and 5th round, wins at Southampton and Derby. Announced his arrival in the Premier League with a stunning goal and a 5-0 thrashing of Stoke in November. And Robert Swire, the physio, just asking if Wayne Rooney might need a bit of ice. And yeah, here we go. This is what you're referring to, right? Might just be the reason he's been substituted.
He's an amazing lad, and he's got that will to win, isn't he? You know, you just see he enjoys every minute that he's on that football field.
Everett. Tevez. Fletcher making progress to the right. Found by Tevez. Miscontrols. Eckersley. Now Anderson urged to have a dip. Never seems to be that bothered about scoring. Welbeck holds up the court. Everett. Left back, just playing in an advanced midfield position. Now Park. Eckersley, or rather Welbeck. Tevez. Remember, on a hat-trick, going for it. And it was comfortably left for Schwarzer.
Like a home game, isn't it, for United at the minute? Just in complete control, and Fulham, even at this early stage of the second half, I'm sure they're looking for the final whistle at the moment.
Everton game rather than match. Hasn't been a match from the 20th minute on. Tuhu. Stumble from Dempsey at just the wrong time. Manchester United really do have to sign over Fulham. They've won the last 8 meetings of these two clubs, and if this carries on as it is, that will be 4 without conceding a goal in a row. Just one Fulham win in the last 30 between these two clubs. That was, would you believe, at Old Trafford just over 5 years ago. Van der Sar was in the Fulham side then. There's Park. Teasing Pansel. Pansel, with the help of Davis, made sure he couldn't get through. United supporters are going through their repertoire. There's an ode to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being sung out. Currently doing well as coach of one of United's reserve sides. Olivier Dacourt, or rather Camera it was, Dacourt just behind him, now at Tuhu. It's Spencer. Dempsey will jump, could get over the ball.
Can't really remember Southampton making a genuine save from open play. Maybe that one in the first half when Dempsey got above John O'Shea with a header after that cross in from Zamora. But you know, that's what we've had. Opportunities like that, just a long ball into the box. Someone getting a header under pressure.
Zamora's going off. And he's going to be replaced by Zoltan Gira. Just a run out for the talented Hungarian. It'd be great, wouldn't it, if he got the instruction, go on and be a hero.
I don't think it's going to happen, whatever Torres said to him. This is about damage limitation now from Fulham's perspective. Make sure they don't pick up any injuries, make sure everyone's fit and well for the important Premier League games that they're going to have.
A yellow card for John Panzer. I was going to say Fulham could have done without that, but Jason Park could have done without that, really. That was on the wrong end of the tackle. First yellow card of the game. Into the last quarter of it. Back to Van der Sar. That's Carrick. Now Everett. Little too casual. It's one for Fulham by Camera. And the pullback was behind Dempsey. Carrick was tracking back to take up possession again for Manchester United and try to set Evra forward. Tevez, inch perfect ball into it. Welbeck in the centre, Fletcher arriving. Tevez, side netting. No hat-trick yet.
What a ball that was from Evra, though, wasn't it? Inch perfect over the top of the defender to pick out Carlos Tevez. I think Aaron Hughes can do nothing about it. Now he's 1-on-1. Little shimmy to get away from him. The only thing he does wrong there, he said he's going to cross the keeper. Even if he makes a save, he might have spilt it out to one of his teammates right to the near post.
It's the corner. It's behind Camera. And it's a United goal kick.
I would suggest that's two players who don't play that often in matches. They're just not on the same wavelength there, and that's been typical Fulham. You can't fault their attitude or their commitment for them, it's just the quality. That's what's been the difference, the major difference. United, every time one of the United players are on the ball, he's got 5 or 6 options.
Over 20 minutes left yet, Roy. Sorry. Sense that the life has been sucked out of Fulham's players. Dacourt. Vidic away. Carrick. Engeland called for Hughes to get out of his way. There's Fletcher. Now Tevez. Quickly bounces back to his feet. The red shirts are arriving now. Tevez decides a corner is the best bet there.
He's really enjoyed himself today, isn't he, Carlos Tevez? You know, he doesn't get many opportunities to start matches these days for Manchester United, but today he's been awesome. His movement has been terrific. They always look positive when he's getting on the ball to go and create. If he's not going to get the shot away himself, he's trying to get others in better positions to get an opportunity to score.
Just going to ask you, did you get the hat-trick?
I hope so.
Going to stay until the end because United have used all 3 of their substitutions. Schwartz up for the catch. Now Paul Konchesky. Gira. That was all. He's only just come on. Try Tevez isn't an excuse. Tevez. Well back to the right. Jason Park just had to put the brakes on to avoid stepping offside.
I think we went with the wrong option there because Welbeck was a better ball from Bird. What poor pass from Gira. Trying to play offside, look at Hongolan trying to play offside, but he used the centre to play him on. But just there, that was the ball he should have played through in front of Welbeck, and he had a simple one-on-one situation.
Welbeck said something to Carlos Tevez as well, 18-year-old. I think the boss would be unhappy if he didn't in that situation. There's a happy band. They'll have come from all four corners of the world for this game to support Manchester United. 24,662. A good chunk of that number Manchester United supporters. And if you know anything about football, virtually all of that number Manchester United admirers.
I would have paid to watch this today.
Have you not?
Yeah. Certainly, you know, when you're talking about the FA Cup, it's derided at times, it's not the competition that it is and so forth. For me, it's the best domestic cup there is. Simple as that. I've been fortunate to win it twice. It is a marvellous day out when you get there. The fans love it. But today, Manchester United have done a power of good with the team they've selected and the performance that they put on.
Well, you, of course, played for. I mentioned Liverpool in a moment. We'll just see if Fulham can get something. Now back comes young Richard Eckersley. Perfect tackle. Fletcher. And Welbeck. To Anderson, I was just going to ask you, that Liverpool team that you played in, you were winning pot after pot after pot. Where do you get that hunger from that Manchester United clearly have, and dare I say maybe have it even more than your Liverpool team?
Well, it's just a great feeling to go out into games knowing you're going to win, because that's the feeling you have. You know, you just believe that you're the best team, you've got the best group of players, regardless what the opposition do on that particular day, you're going to have enough quality to win matches, and that's what Manchester United are like at the moment. There's not a team that they fear now. It doesn't matter who they are in world football, Manchester United believe that they can go out and compete and more often than not come away with a victory.
Reading a great story in the build-up to this game that rather demonstrated that. Rio Ferdinand was saying, almost as soon as the last penalty had gone in Moscow last May when Manchester United beat Chelsea in the Champions League final, the jumping up and down, the celebrating had begun when Ryan Giggs stuck his head into the muddle and just said, remember this, let's do this again next year, immediately.
Well, that's what it's all about, that's what you get winners from. You know, and Ryan Giggs, for me, he's been one of the top, if not the top player in the Premier League. He's done it at Manchester United, season after season, and he's been so consistent. It's just admirable to watch what he's done at United.
Some people are just never happy.
Some people are just too greedy, that's the problem.
Here's Eckersley. Too quick for Gira. Fletcher. Eckersley was hauled away from the ball by the four. Fulham fans will disagree. Everett. Let's not forget, we're almost talking about this 5-trophy haul for Manchester United this season. It's almost a foregone conclusion. There's a lot of miles to go in the Champions League yet. You never know, there could be a slip-up. Liverpool win at Old Trafford next Saturday and it's all open again. They might just draw Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final, so there's work to do, but they're up for it. Gira. Eckersley got the call in time. This is Hangeland. And Tevez running back at him seemed to put him off, but Hangeland's had a bad day at the office.
Maybe he's been reading the press that's been written about him recently, but it's not been one of his better days. I think you mentioned at the start, I think he'd be better prepared if he played against someone like Berbatov. The two smaller lads today, pace and just movement has been a real worry for him.
Won the Norwegian Cup once upon a time with Viking Stavanger. Won't be winning the FA Cup this year. Olivier Depaul. Chesty gets it away in the nick of time. This is Gira. A 2-0. John Patson. Simon Davis. Dempsey in a good position in the box, but he couldn't trick his way past Nemanja Vidic. Hughes. Fulham's longest spell of possession of the second half by some distance. Tevez doing really well. Not well enough.
Unless they do their confidence a world of good. They really do need a good end to the game, Fulham. You know, with big games got up, keep mentioning Blackburn in the league midweek. You know, they need points. And certainly they're concerned to Roy Hodgson that the last two home games that they've had, today with 3-0 down and lost midweek to Hull as well, will be a concern because that's what's really kept them alive this season is the form at Craven Cottage.
It was last minute. The only goal of the game against Hull in midweek. I suspect that defeat will still be hurting them much more than this one. This, I think Roy Hodgson said himself, one of those cup ties that needed every single Fulham player to be on top of their game, and coupled with that, Manchester United have a bad day. That scoreboard tells you that hasn't happened. Manchester United have had a terrific day. Fulham probably haven't played any worse than usual. Now John Paxall has just to be careful now, he's the only player that's been booked so far. He doesn't even think that was a foul. Substituted because, like United, Fulham have used all three subs permitted. Here's Anderson. He's come back in after an injury layoff and slotted in seamlessly.
No, he's not a player out there. It doesn't look out of place, is it? Everyone, young Eckersley's come in. He looks like he's played it right back for a number of years. You know, that's because of the options. When he's on the ball, there's so many players that wants the ball off of him. And I often say, you've got to be a bad player not to pick the right one, because there's some great players who are in great positions that you just have to give them the ball and then they'll go and play from there. But, you know, as I say today, I've thoroughly enjoyed this game. I think any young aspiring footballers out there should get a DVD of Manchester United and watch the passing and movement, determination and how well they've done.
Park's been on the receiving end of one or two in the second half. Yellow card Olivier de Court. And on loan from Inter Milan, of course. Message from Mourinho. Going to do anything. Let's take 1 or 2 out.
Well, it's a bit of frustration there, I think, as well for the core because they have been second best.
It's Carrick. Tevez suddenly popping up in between 3 defenders. Carrick again. Laid off by Welbeck. Breaks for Tevez. Back to Welbeck. He was just off balance. Just moving the wrong way as the pass arrived. Stumble from camera. The Vidic is there. Interesting. Doesn't take chances, Vidic, really, does it?
Not normally, but just another player that's had an outstanding season. Confidence so high. You know, able to take on a 50-yard crossfield ball. He's weak at left foot, but that passage of play from Manchester United earlier, once again, Tevez involved. And he looks like he's got the ball glued to his feet at the moment, and the pass in for Welbeck. I just think Welbeck didn't expect it, and that's why he was caught in his heel.
Tevez will chase again. So he's able to get away. Chesky. Gira. Ball finds Gira. He's not quite picked up the pace of the game since leaving the bench. It's one of those coming on at 3-0 down with 15-16 minutes to go, and he's given the ball away, not for the first time. And this time the net is found by Ji-sung Park. He's been trying for that. He's got his goal. It's 4-0 Manchester United. Gira is the Fulham player to blame for that, I'm afraid. But Park still had plenty to do and did it brilliantly.
Yeah, but it's the closing down. Look at the pressure that Eckersley's put him under. Because the pass that he's trying to make isn't an easy one. He should play the ball across field anyway. He's already been found out once by doing that. And he's been found out again here. But Park deserves this. Just comes inside views. And like Rooney, you know, it's just a pass into that hard corner. And Mark Schwarzer once again can do nothing about it. It's all about the quality of the finish from Ji-sung Park, who, for me, once again, he just works so hard out on that left-hand side of the midfield, time and time again, running at defenders, making it difficult for the opposition, and they're finally getting his reward.
Fulham 0, Manchester United 4. I was just about to say about Gira coming on when he did, 3-0 down. One of those where he might have looked at the manager and thought, do I have to go on into this? Well, he really will be wishing he wasn't there now. Twice he's given the ball away from Ji-sung Park. He was lucky to get away with it first time. And again, you mentioned him, right? Special praise for Richard Eckersley, who will turn 20 next week. Putting the pressure on, forcing the error. I guess we'd make him fifth choice right back at Manchester United at the moment.
See, the difference is that normally when you're 3-0 up, you sit back, don't you, and you protect what you've got. You don't really need to go and get after the opposition, but that's certainly not been the case for United. All of them, I've watched them, look how quickly they start to close down, not giving players time and space on the ball.
Fulham just want the pain to end. I think you've heard the name Eckersley a few years ago at Manchester United. His older brother Adam did play once for the club in the League Cup. Went on to play for Port Vale. I believe he's now playing in Denmark. His kid brother has trebled his number of appearances for the first team, and looks as though he'll have a good few more. Good Salford name, isn't it too? Here's Michael Carrick. Manchester United are looking for 5. Dempsey. Fulham looking for any sort of, you can't even call it consolation now, can you? Just something.
Sometimes you look at scorelines and you think it flatters the team that's winning, but that's not the case today.
It flatters Fulham.
That's, yeah, overall, you think of the chances United have created. My goodness, it could have been anything. After the first goal, and really, it's been Manchester United's game.
There's Dempsey. Fulham will continue to try to play the right way. What is generally perceived to be the right way. What a way for Manchester United to go into the European battle with Mourinho's Inter Milan next week. In invincible form. Chesky. Hang around to Schwarzer. And up to George Best now. Going through the entire back catalogue of Manchester United songs. Just thinking of George Best, and no Ronaldo tonight, of course. They've done this without him. You mentioned Rooney, mentioned that he has that red mist side to him as well. Let's see what Park can do with this. And now Welbeck, Tevez and Fletcher in the penalty area. Welbeck holds on. Park managed to get through somehow. Still Park. Now Tevez. And Pransel will... I thought he was going to hammer it clear. He's lost out to Welbeck. See how their own little personal duel before Fulham finally do get the throw. Just going to mention about those sorts of players, you can throw Cantona into the mix as well. Do you have to take it as one package? I know there's been the talk between Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson this week about you have to take that with Ronaldo, Rooney as well.
Absolutely, they are what they are. They've got their own standards that they live up to. The way that they play a game's all different, but that they'll do something in matches that can be the difference between sides, and they've got quality, real quality. I've got to say, you mentioned Manchester United. How many of this starting 11 is going to play against Inter Milan on Wednesday? I mean, that's the next question. Because you look at the bench and Ronaldo's not there on the bench today. Berbatov is. I would say he's nailed on to start in that game.
It's Franceschi. Camera. Let's go to nobody particular. Edwin van der Sar. No Ji-sung Park. See why many Manchester United fans call him Free Long Park. Endless energy reserves. Sar. Hangeland able to collect and find Pencer. We know that both sides are playing at time. They do abide by FIFA rules, but if the officials had any compassion about them, they'd just put the 1 minute on. That'll be enough for Manchester United. Welbeck's having a go. And has put it well high and wide.
Still a look there from Carlos Tevez.
Thumbs up. Not sure that's the case. I think his face tells the real story.
I think if I was a Fulham fan today, yeah, you'd be disappointed with the result, but you would be privileged to watch United play today. You know, such has been their quality. It's just been, I keep mentioning masterclass, because that's what it's been. Just terrific, absolutely first class performance from United.
The ironic cheers that have greeted that free kick suggest that maybe a few Fulham fans don't think they've had the rub of the green. Wouldn't have mattered. Gira. Vidic with the touch, and he gets the return from Fletcher. 1 past too many as Tevez tried to find the big serve again. Tuhu rolls away from Carrick. Chesney supporting him on the left-hand side. Dixon and Tuhu. Chesney. Gira. Fletcher up and away. Dempsey. Gira. In a fortnight's time, it's the same fixture again in the Premier League. Fulham at home to Manchester United. Just wonder what Fulham can do differently then. Eckersley. And it's not just gave the home supporters a moment's excitement. It was daring them to score. Welbeck. Last season, Manchester United's FA Cup run ended at this stage, quarter-final. They lost at home to Portsmouth. I remembered it was a penalty, and Rio Ferdinand was in goal for it. Thomas Kuszek had been sent off, Van der Sar had gone off injured at half-time. Portsmouth went on to win the FA Cup. Manchester United have cruised into the last 4 this time. Favourites to lift the trophy. Chelsea might have something to say about it. Arsenal will have a say too, perhaps. He's not nodding off, is he? Surely not. So there will be a minimum of 2 more minutes to be added on to the end. Fletcher. Foul by Hangeland. Is 2 minutes enough for Carlos Tevez to claim the match ball for himself? Everett. It's Anderson. Richard Eckersley. Goes down as another plus point on a night of endless pluses for Manchester United. Welbeck, onside, trying to hold off Hughes, not quite strong enough yet. Kuszek. It's Hangeland, almost into unknown territory, the opposition half. Pencer. Challenged by Everett, and it's free kick for Fulham. Chance for them to swing one more ball into the box.
Can they finish on a high, guy? That's the question. It will be terrific to take that confidence into upcoming matches. And United, you know, they don't like conceding, do they?
The Sar in particular. Good to see that not many Fulham fans have left early. Cross, and it's too high. They have finished on high, you're right. Vidic. Fast into touch by the court. The man from Inter Milan's doing his best.
He's trying his best, but I'll tell you what, he's had an absolute nightmare since he's come on his own game. He keeps giving the ball away to Manchester United. It's incredible. And he has to go back to basics when you're having a bad time like that. I've been there myself. Just find a white shirt, just give it nice and easy.
Time for many to head for the exits now. That will be that at Craven Cottage. It has been a sumptuous display of attacking football from Manchester United. 2 goals in either half. And Roy Hodgson will be the first to appreciate just how good that was.
Fantastic, wasn't it? It was a privilege to see this game today. The performance from Manchester United was the top draw. Something I'm sure they've been looking for with the upcoming games that they've got. This will